Okay, started.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي في أمري كي يسبح على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. Okay. Inshallah, we will start the new chapter, Adiyat, today. We had a long introduction to the chapter, so we should go back to the introduction. The first verse says, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا, by the war horses which run swiftly to the battle with a panting noise, breathing heavily, whatever. So we had a very short introduction to the chapter, to the first verse. Whole chapter we took one class. Now, why do you think the war horses are described as run swiftly to the battle? War horses represents what? Come on, speak, come on. War horses represents what?
War, strength.
Yeah? Continue.
Me, myself, whatever find myself battling towards or struggling with, in a sense.
Sorry?
Whatever I find myself struggling against or seeking to battle with, in a sense.
Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What's the matter with you so that you can run into the battlefield? Why? Yeah? Why do you need to run into the battlefield swiftly?
I'm just wondering, is it because there's a side of me that wants to, I guess, tackle or fight against whatever the opposition is?
Opposition to what? Opposition to what?
Opposition to the expectation of fulfilling my needs or desires.
Have you listened to the introduction? Yeah. So, come on. More. Your need. What do you need in this world? What do we need in this world?
Anything that we're striving towards becomes a need. So it could be material, anything material. It could be
war. What's going on in the war? Why are we in the battlefield?
Okay.
Do you find yourself in the battlefield? You said yes. Anyone else? Do you find yourself in the battlefield? For what? Not.
Like, what am I
Let's change the voice. Yeah.
What am I battling for?
Huh.
I guess just like peace of mind. Maybe are just like battling things like insecurities or
Peace of mind, security too. What else? Okay.
like maybe temptation to do like things that I know are not good or good for me.
No, peace of mind, security if you want peace of mind, if you want security, why are you in the battlefield then? Battlefield is really disturbing your security and peace of mind.
If I find myself in the battlefield, then I must view whatever it is that I want something that I can only achieve if I fight for it. It must be something that I must go out and achieve for myself.
Okay, combine this. We want peace of mind. Yes, I want peace of mind. I think everybody does. And I want security. Yeah, I think it's very human. And you said what you want to achieve. Now, what do you want to achieve in this world? Peace of mind? I'm combining these two.
Well, I guess the point that I was trying to make is that like things like peace of mind, security, or human expectations that I have in myself that I want for myself, if I find myself battling for it, that means that in a way I view those things that I want as something that I can only get if I fight, if I battle.
Against
if I go
what?
into battle, yes, if I fight with myself or fight, I have to go into a battle with myself in order to achieve these things.
So if you go into a battlefield, if you want to go into, you must have some enemy. Who's your enemy?
Myself.
No, it is, well, you want peace of mind and you want security. Why do you say that enemy is myself?
Well, I guess first, I'm just thinking out loud. I have to
Yeah,
first
of
question.
course, everybody
I
does
have
that,
to
don't worry.
first question if the things that I want are things that I can achieve by going into battle. If it's something that I have to fight to get or to be given.
Give an example, or anybody, give an example.
Well, I guess when I think about like running swiftly, if like what I'm looking for is like peace of mind or security, then whatever the enemy is, it's something that's threatening that peace of mind or that's threatening that security. So I guess running swiftly to the battle would be maybe to retrieve those things or to like kind of whatever is like taking those things away or threatening those things.
Now, who is threatening you or who is threatening you so that you have to struggle against it?
I don't know.
Life is threatening you, or life is the means of really receiving. Life doesn't threaten you. What disturbs us most is a little bit subtle. What disturbs us most?
I was going to say at a theoretical level, anything that causes friction to obtaining what I want is the enemy.
Yeah.
Now that anything you can replace that object with anything, it could be yourself.
So, anything that causes friction that you want to have, do we agree that we want all to have peace of mind and security or human satisfaction?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what are those things, possible things that they may cause us to be or to find ourselves in friction? What are they? No.
To me, the battlefield is a contradiction of our life, where the things like peace, security, happiness have the eternal element to it that cannot be found completely in this universe. And the battlefield represents, the place where we are confronting the reality that what we actually seek is not found here. So hence, we have to reconcile this desire with the actual source of this desire.
Now, it is we are getting somehow closer to the subject, really. Now, if you want to achieve your goals, what prevents you from achieving your goals so that you have to fight against? What prevents you from achieving your goals, which is the human expectations, security, peace of mind, etc.?
It's my understanding about those goals and how
My understanding?
about those goals and how they exist.
Yeah.
They like my understanding of how something exists can prevent me from understanding its true nature or not.
So what do you think what is possible for you, for anyone, for you, which prevents you from achieving those goals? Peace of mind.
What is preventing us from
Achieving,
those?
yeah, so that you have to struggle.
I think it's just what prevents us is like our
Can I
Anyone? Yeah, the new voices, yeah.
Could it be like the doubt that we have inside of ourselves?
Sorry?
The doubt?
No.
The doubt. ourselves?
doubt.
Doubt, the doubt
Doubt
that we
about
have
what?
inside ourselves.
Yeah, okay. We may have doubts about what?
Of achieving those goals, we don't think we can. The goals stand in our way.
of achieving those goals that we think we can, so that gets in our way.
So how can you get rid of the doubts? This is one question. Yeah. If you want to struggle, if you want to have a battle with the doubts, what do you or do we have to do?
Reason, research
Reason about?
about the reality of our experience about our existence.
Any idea? Since you brought the idea. Anyone?
Confirm that what you want is achievable.
So how can you confirm it?
Investigate
By investigating.
the nature of whatever it is that you want and your own nature.
Yeah. So do you have to have a battle with it?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Do you think the battle is taking place outside of us? Now, we have the battlefield. We are the battlefield, okay? You said it earlier on, but I just didn't want to go into it as a result. So the battle is going on within us. And what human beings do to defend themselves, right? Against what? What do we agree that we feel that we have to defend ourselves within ourselves against what? Where the battle is going on. Yeah, but describe it. You said it earlier on as well, but describe it. The battle is not going on in the street, okay? Battle is not going on between me and so-called natural laws. Now, I'm very happy that gravity pulls me down and I'm comfortable on the earth because of this system, this order in the universe, so that I can walk comfortably. I don't just fall anywhere or fly out, fly away high. So I'm comfortable with it. So when it rains, it rains. When it doesn't rain, it is sunny. I'm very comfortable with the set of the order. So battle, where is the battle? What human beings really need to do in order to make themselves comfortable, in order to have peace of mind, what do they have to do?
Have to find a reason or come up with a justification to feel content within yourself.
Content within yourself against what?
Against your own or alternate possibility of an option. So, for example, if internally I'm feeling okay, I want an ice cream, and upside of me is like, no, you don't spend money on an ice cream or whatever. There are two ideologies that exist within myself. One, I'm going to try to justify, and I have to convince myself that I feel content with the outcome. Obviously, there are two possible outcomes that I'm reasoning between. So when I find enough justification or evidence to support one possibility, that's where contentment comes from.
Do we feel that? What's going on? Okay. Do you feel that if you are a thief, let me clarify a little bit. If you were a thief, or let's make it realistic, if you are a thief, right, and you have stolen something, do you have a peace of mind?
No.
No, you'll be very comfortable. But of course, the objects or whatever the properties or something you have obtained, but you don't feel comfortable. What do you want to do? You want to defend yourself. Against what?
Like the fear of like going to jail or the police.
Sorry?
The police or whoever comes.
No, within yourself.
Oh, within yourself.
So you have to defend yourself. Now, you have stolen, no one has seen you, no police, no court, anything. So you are at home now with the goods you have. What do you need to do?
Relieve your conscience,
Justify
your actions.
yourself, try to find out excuses that what you have done is really right and necessary, right? Now, do we feel that we are getting into the subject now? Do we understand and do we feel that everybody wants to be the right guy?
Right.
Yep. Everybody wants to be right. I am right. For example, all night I did something which is not expected, which I'm not expected to do, and I want to justify myself. But if I am wrong, if I did something wrong against my, now two things, two sides, against my consciousness. My conscience tells me you've done something wrong. Now, every human being needs peace of mind. Now, what do we do now in order to gain the peace of mind? You have done something wrong. If I did something wrong, in order to gain the peace of mind, what do? Try to defend myself against my conscience. So conscience represents what? Does conscience mislead human beings? No. That's why human beings innately honorable beings, creatures. Why? Conscience never misleads you. But in order to justify our mistakes, mistaken attitudes, or actions or thoughts, what we do, we declare war against, continue,
Conscious.
conscience, human conscience. Conscience is the representative of my creator, the truth. Yeah. We think that we are fighting for the truth. In fact, we are fighting in order to justify ourselves against the reminding of our own conscience. Inside, outside, against the message that my creator sent to me, which is appropriate and which is coherent with my conscience. Both the same, either conscience, human conscience, or the prophetic mission must be the same, must be equal to each other. Why? If the prophetic mission contradicts my conscience, I can approve it. It means, but we are accepting something. It means my creator is offering me something against my nature. How can I approve it? How can I follow it? It's against my nature. So when we say conscience, it is equal to revelation. God's guidance must be by definition. So if someone doesn't accept God's guidance, he has to refer to his own conscience, his own conscience. So everyone who, we make mistakes, do we?
Yes.
And we are not perfect. Are we? I don't think I'm perfect. So we are not perfect. What do we do? The first we started the argument that we need security, we need peace of mind, we need satisfaction for our life, human satisfaction for our life. Okay, how do we get this? Fighting against, if we do something wrong, which we do, declaring war against the truth, which is transferred to us, presented to us by our conscience. It means through, if you like, our innate truth in ourselves, within ourselves. We declare war against conscience when we do something wrong. Now, if you don't do something wrong, if you are right, what do? Do you declare war against yourself? You are happy. Relaxed. Happy. If there is a war, it means, come on.
You're wrong.
So you are fighting against your conscience. If the
How about if there are two people wrong in a situation? Is it okay for the person to relieve their conscience by blaming the other person, even though the other person did do something wrong?
So
sorry, yeah, it's all right. There's a translator here, or transmitter. Okay.
I'm not sure if I heard everything, but if you can be loud, that'd be best.
If someone did something wrong and there's another person who did something wrong in the situation as well, is it okay for that one person to relieve their conscience by stating or focusing on how the other person did something wrong because they're looking at it like there's a connection?
So it is a hypothetical situation which I will be doing something wrong, somebody else will be doing something wrong, none of my business to somebody else. If I am right, the other people may be all corrupt, none of my business. As far as I am concerned, I have to correct myself. When I correct myself, it means when I obtain the satisfaction or human satisfaction, peace of mind, I would know how to deal with other people. So first, obtain the self-satisfaction within yourself with no conflict. What we do, this justification, self-justification, takes place always. So now let's go back to the time of the first revelation of these verses. Who are opposing this revelation, and what are they doing? They are trying to shut up the one who brought the
message.
The one who brought the message to them.
Yeah.
They are trying to really eliminate this man. If needed, kill him. Isn't that a battlefield? Now, this is other people now, other people. But the same battlefield is going on within ourselves as well. That's why we don't feel this very interesting psychological analysis of human beings. That's why we don't feel comfortable within ourselves. That's why we suffer lots of psychological problems. Because of this. Because consciousness says, I think it is right, but my own choice, free will says, I'm not going to submit. Right? But human beings harm themselves. No one can harm you but yourself. Do you notice that? For example, if you are satisfied with the truth that you have no conflict within yourself going on, but a person who comes and blames you, attacks you, maybe presents you some counter argument against your what you receive from your consciousness, you are comfortable. You say, okay, is that your idea? Let's talk about it. But if you yourself are not comfortable as well with your belief, within yourself, what do? React and run swiftly to the to the battlefield with a panting noise. No, you cannot blame, you cannot insult my prophet. Shout. You cannot insult my religion. Give your answer, my religion. He is not comfortable. He himself is not comfortable. He is not satisfied within himself. That's why he reacts. Have you ever heard any attitude presented by the prophet in a reactionary way? Have you heard anything that the prophet suddenly reacted and got angry? What?
I can't remember which ones exactly, but I think I've heard of a like when he got visibly angry at times.
But no.
Oh, that's different from reacting. Yeah.
Reacting.
No.
No.
Okay.
They wanted to kill him. He didn't react. He said, okay, let's go on the battlefield, physical battlefield. That's not this one. Not the one which is studied in this verse, in these verses. Physical, okay. Defend ourselves physically. How about the counter ideology presented to him? Did he panic?
No.
Did he react?
No.
What did he do? Presented his case in a calm way.
Yeah.
Why? He wasn't in a battle within himself. Example. But on any reaction that we demonstrate shows that is a proof that I am not satisfied within myself. First. Okay.
So you're talking about how the direction or truth that is represented by my conscience must be equal with that of revelation, since
By definition, yes.
Yes, since my source of existence can't ask of me something that contradicts the way that he has created me.
And endow you with the quality that will perceive that revelation, that message, and confirm it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't match, you cannot confirm.
Right.
Okay.
So how can I ascertain whether the direction or level of comfort that my conscience is making me feel is, for lack of better wording, unspoiled or unspoiled or
dirty?
Yeah, like is
Distorted?
Not distorted.
Distorted. Okay.
Right. As opposed to, what I've come to see as right or truthful, and find satisfaction in that due to, I don't know, my surroundings or the society that I live in. I mean, it feels like it's a little bit murky in being able to determine whether just because I feel at peace or satisfied with something, that it must be, true or equal to revelation.
Of course. I understand you. What we do, we turn blind to our reality. We turn blind, but we will never have human satisfaction. Being negligent, for example, towards our own battle. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to reflect on the topic and try to find out the truth or correct myself. We may turn ignorant towards it or negligent towards the contradiction within ourselves. But still we know it is there. That's why this disturbance within ourselves never leaves us alone. It is the mercy of God. If something, for example, if the car, example, you are driving a car, it is perfectly running, there should be no cracks, no noise that disturbs you. But if there is something wrong with the engine, what happens? A lot of unpleasant noise comes out. It is a sign that something is not corresponding with each other within ourselves. Within ourselves. So I can simply use the language of justification. Human beings always try to find out the reason or any excuses to justify themselves against themselves, against their truth, against their conscience. That is why what we do now, as soon as we realize that, we may not be clear about it, but something makes us feel uncomfortable. If I tell a lie, immediately don't I feel that I'm uncomfortable? Yeah, I know I'm telling a lie. Yeah, I know, and it is not good. My conscience reveals it to me. I don't have to follow a religion in order to understand that lying is bad. No, I am going against God's will. No, 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 no. This is not our subject today, because this is the chapter which was revealed by the first, at the most second year of mission. There is no such complex concepts had established that time, or had been established that time. So these kind of descriptions are presented to the society that human beings are expected to realize something is discomforting me. What is going on? I am not comfortable. I am not settled down. I'm not at peace or in peace.
In
At
peace.
peace.
At peace. That is the problem. Everyone has. I have as well. So, for example, if I have some ambitions which are not really according to my expectations, I know that these ambitions are superficial, but I made it up. I made them up. I cannot achieve it. It's not real. It's not true. What I do now, I get uncomfortable because my conscience from my side, my conscience says, it's not really true that you are seeking, you are trying to fulfill, you are trying to accomplish your ambitions. It's not really true. But if you are stuck to your ambitions, you cannot really get it, obtain it, you are in trouble. These are the disturbances. These are the points that discomforts us. Yeah, you have to.
I have two questions. One is very similar to what's already asked. I guess the follow-up question that I have to what you said, that if there's something that my consciousness is revealing to me, or my conscience is revealing to me, how much of what is being revealed inherently true in its nature or in its existence versus a product of me being conditioned. For example, the car example that you use, the only time I would sense that there's something wrong with the car is provided that I've drove in a car which never made a noise. So when I hear a noise, I'm like, something is wrong with this, versus if the first time I ever drove a car and it was making noise, that noise is part of what is true. It's how I would perceive cars to normally function. Lying, for example, the only time I would feel bad in lying is because I have a sense of lying is bad. If all I ever did in my entire life was just to lie, I'm not sure if I can confidently say that I would feel that there's conflict happening within my existence or within that.
We are growing from very zero age until your age, whatever everybody's age is. So we are experiencing all these. So we are not driving the car the first time. That's one thing. And if we constantly lie, we are constantly in conflict within ourselves. Even we lie. No one says that I lie, but I don't feel uncomfortable. But apparently, they may claim that they are comfortable with it. But what happens in the extreme cases, unexpected that these people commit suicide. Pretend to be happy, and try to soothe themselves using other means to shut down their conscience when they go overdose, they die. Even the physical life cannot be bearable. So if someone, for example, wants to deny the truth while it is listening to himself, or when the truth is presented to this person, what do? They immediately panic. Now, how can I justify myself? What excuses I should invent in order to justify myself? If you say, look, if you don't believe in the eternal life, if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe there's a purpose for our life, rest. And if you believe that we are just random beings, happen to be as we are, accidentally throughout the history, billions of years, that's how I am. No. Why do you bother to deny? That the people deny the idea that you have a purpose in your life. Why do you bother? That our life has no purpose. Why do they bother? Why do you think that unbelieving people bother to defend their unbelief? Because unbelief means purposeless. Purposelessness. Why do they bother?
We're saying that they're defending it. What if that's what they inherently believe to be true? What if that their consciousness reveals that to be true to them?
In themselves.
In themselves.
They don't want to face their reality because their reality says, for example, I am denying. You come with an idea to me and making what is already in my conscience clear. And what do? In order to justify myself, I attack you. But after I leave you and go home in my bedroom or living room, do I feel comfortable? Now, that is what is described in this verse. This person, as long as you don't follow what your conscience offers you, you have to suffer and you have to be in the battlefield always. You don't get peace of mind at all. You don't feel security within yourself. That's what I understood from the verse.
Yeah, so what I'm understanding from the question and the answer is that even though, like, if a person believes strongly they've been doing something a certain way and they don't see an alternative, or they don't see that it's a wrong way of doing something, but they continue to do it, there is a small seed, regardless of how much it shows, there is a seed inside of themselves, in their conscience, that does pull them into a different direction. And then for sometimes what happens is that it becomes necessary for somebody else to come into the picture and guide them out of that situation, and whatever it could be in a situation. And that guidance can come in a sort of like through a person. It can come through a circumstance that they have to go through. But that person or that situation guides them towards what their consciousness was telling them from the beginning, that, look, there is a better way of doing something. And it becomes more apparent. At that point, it's up to that person to decide, hey, do I want to listen to what my consciousness and what I understand to be the truth, to follow it, or do I want to continue doing things as I want to do it, as I wish to do it, you know?
Now, no one makes the case for himself so clear. This is right, but I still don't want to submit to the truth. No one makes the case so clear for himself. What did they do? They cover it up.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is for ourselves. We have to be very careful. We have to be very careful. If I want to have peace of mind, I have to go home, sit in my room, which kind of false expectations, which we call them ambitions, I have. So that if they are not right, they will never be satisfied. They will never be fulfilled.
Yeah, they'll
So
call.
then I have to be honest within myself. What I am doing is wrong. What I am expecting from life or anything is not true. Admit it. But no one is perfect. So what we do, what we have to do in this case, when I fail, especially to relieve myself from my ambitions, I may not be able to do that, but I must accept that this is my ambitions, this is my caprices, and I'm not fulfilling it. I'm not able to fulfill them. For example, don't misunderstand the case that someone wants to be rich and he cannot be rich. No, this is not the point. This is not the argument here. Even somebody ambition doesn't mean that I want to be rich. I want to have the higher position, the highest position in my rank in job, whatever I'm doing. It is not ambition here, what we are talking about. Ambition is to satisfy yourself in the wrong way. What's the wrong way now? How can we try to satisfy ourselves in the wrong way?
By expecting.
Sorry?
I was just going to say, like, theoretically, by expecting to obtain contentment,
Yes.
satisfaction, while going against what your conscience is telling you.
For example, not because ambition is not to have to obtain money or to gain money and gain status in the society. It doesn't really solve the problem. You may be successful. You may get the job you want. You may get the money amount of money you want, you desire, but still you may be on the wrong way. What does it mean? Unless you accept that you are a created being and you can only obtain satisfaction by acknowledging that your creator provides everything, not you yourself. Do you understand? You cannot, for example, you may have the money. You can become a billionaire, yeah, or CEO of a very famous company, but it doesn't make you feel comfortable, never. Why? Because you are trying to obtain satisfaction, peace of mind by obtaining the material means rather than acknowledging their absolute source. Because human consciousness only feels satisfied when it submits himself to its eternal source of existence with God. So we don't have to fight in this world if we submit ourselves to our creator, absolute creator. Otherwise, the worldly objects, whether you have it, don't have it, really does not have any effect on you. Do you think those people gain money and become more and more comfortable? Temporarily, maybe one day, 1 week. That's why the more secular the civilization is, more people are unsatisfied with their job. They say, this is the best job I got. 6 months later, they say, it is not the best one. Yeah. Why? Because the object of satisfaction is in the world. But what consciousness wants to have full satisfaction, which is absolute. It means endless, infinite. Who can provide you the source of, provide us, the source of infinite satisfaction? The universe? The universe? That's why unless we submit ourselves to our Creator and understand that everything is provided by Him, so whatever I do in my job, I am obeying His law. I am obeying His will. So by obeying His will, you are comfortable. If you don't obey His will, but obey your own caprices, then you are in trouble. That's why you will be in war with your Creator. If you don't submit, if you don't surrender yourself to your Creator, it doesn't mean that we are not going to do anything. When I submit myself to God, that's it. I'm not going to do it. No. While I am living in this world, what I will have to do to obey His order and be conscious that, be aware that He is the one who will satisfy me. That's why I communicate with Him through. How do you communicate with your Creator in this world? Through?
Acknowledgement.
Sorry?
I said acknowledgement.
Practically speaking, through how do you satisfy yourself?
Through creation.
The order He has established, right? Order He has established. When you obey the order in this world with the consciousness that this is the requirement of my Creator to communicate with Him in this physical world, then you may not obtain physical results, but obey the order properly, and you know that, look, for example, let's say somebody you love is or has a terminal illness. What you do? No, what I have to do this, take him to the best doctor and have it this one, etc. You did it. Everything you did, right? Within the order. And the person died. Do you feel guilty? No. Everything you could within the order of this universe, you did. Do you feel guilty?
No, you don't.
But if you neglect by following the order in the universe, look, not the Quranic order. No. Revelation, order of the revelation. I don't mean that. Order in the universe. If you are conscious that this order has been established by your Creator, and the consciousness, the conscience that urges you to help this person, you say, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. So I am obeying God's order, the Creator's order, my Creator's order. That is what I can do. I cannot go beyond Creator's order within the universe, right? If you do it, you are comfortable. If you don't want to do it, what do you do? Because you don't want to obey the order or if you don't acknowledge that order belongs to your creator, the creator of your conscience, if you don't acknowledge it, and your beloved one dies, what do? You get angry with the creator of death, and you start complaining. That's why the problem of evil comes in. Why there are some things going on bad. No, whatever happens, whatever is created, you have to follow the order in order to fulfill your responsibility. And be conscious that this order has been prepared for you to communicate with the creator of the order through obeying the order. That is, I'm not talking about anything religious. I mean, religious duties, rituals, something like that. No, the best prayer is, let's say my uncle is ill, and let me pray. Yeah, verbally you may pray, doesn't matter. That doesn't really matter, because there is a verse that about the prophet Job. He prayed for his sons, right? And God said, let me read this one. Where's my book? It's very important. It is very important. We have to understand that we have to obey the order with the consciousness. This order is by the one who put my consciousness within myself. Not that the creator is going to change his mind. Let me read the verse. It is important. We misunderstand praying always. I can find it for somewhere here. This is the prayer book, and while I'm reading it, I have to remember this verse. That's why I wrote it somewhere here, that I will remind myself accordingly. Where is it? Yeah. Oh, no. Is it that here? Oh. في نفس يعقوب. Can you find that, please? I thought it was here. Yeah. Yeah, okay. This is, somebody can find out really, 12:68. Chapter 12:68. ولما دخلوا من حيث أمرهم أبوهم ما كان يغني عنهم من الله من شيء إلا حاجة في نفس يعقوب قضاها. It's a very interesting word. Can you read the translation, please? Yeah. Now be careful. It's a very delicate subject. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't pray, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that we prayed and God will change his mind. It is for our own sake that we pray. It means remind us that I am going to obey the laws, the order, and by obeying the order, I am obeying the will of the orderer. Who is the orderer? Who puts the order in the world, in the universe? Who?
The maker.
Your grandmother?
No, the creator of it.
Okay, your mother-in-law. Most of the time, the order in the family life is established by your grandmother. Yeah, did you find it? Okay, read it aloud and slowly, so that I can follow.
It says, and when they entered from where their father had ordered them.
Now, Job's sons, okay? They entered because he asked them, don't enter from one gate of the city, all of you enter them from different gates. Two of them, not all of them at once, Yeah, he asked them, okay?
Verse says, it did not avail them against Allah at all. I'm curious to know what it here is, but it says
It's a Job's command, yeah.
it did not.
I mean, ولما دخلوا أمرهم Job ordered them. Sir, don't do this, do that. I may explain it to you if you are interested in the subtleties of the verse. Yeah.
I'll read it again. And when they entered from where their father had ordered them.
Now, make the pronouns clear now. When the children of Job
entered from a location where their father had ordered them.
Yeah, ask them to enter from different gates.
That ask of their father did not avail them against Allah at all.
Yeah,
except,
it means Allah didn't change his mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
But change the children's mind.
Sorry?
Change the children's mind, right? It did not avail them against Allah at all.
No, don't say change the children's mind, which is not here. Okay, don't confuse. Okay.
At all, except a need within the soul of Jacob.
Now, it is our need within our own soul. Right? Now, we will clarify it, inshallah.
Which he satisfied. He here is Jacob.
Jacob.
Yeah. And indeed,
في نفس يعقوب. It's clearly stated that in the soul of Job, the prophet Job himself. Yeah.
And indeed, he was a possessor of knowledge because.
That is something else. Okay. God knows what he's going to do. He is doing. All right. Now the case is like this. When his sons went to Egypt to bring something from their brother, but they didn't know that it's their brother, yeah, Joseph, Yusuf.
Job.
No,
Jacob.
Brother, Jacob. Sorry, thank you. Jacob, why do I keep saying Job? It's not Job, it's Jacob.
Job is
No. Job is not Jacob. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Jacob asked them to enter from different doors. All right? Not all together, because altogether they had a lot of goods, whatever the reason, but a lot of goods from Egypt, because there was a famine in the area where they were. And the Joseph was the administrator of the budget, or how to say, state budget, whatever. The story is like this. Story side, forget about it. He asked them not to do that. And what the verse says, it didn't have any effect on God's side, but only satisfied Jacob's soul himself. What does it mean? Now, when we are supposed to do something, in order to fulfill or accomplish our aim, we may ask God and think that, oh, I should do this, I should do that. These do not have any effect in the way that God creates the result. What is important? To obey the order or being conscious that by obeying the order, you are obeying the will of the orderer, right? Who established the order here in the universe? The one who created the universe, who gave existence to the universe. So when you obey the order, what do? You obey him. If you do any action in this world with this consciousness, you will never contradict yourself. But, for example, if you don't prepare yourself for the interview, for a job, or for the class, there's a test, and you didn't prepare yourself, what do? When you get a bad result, do you feel comfortable? You blame yourself. But immediately you invent excuses to defend yourself in order to justify yourself. Yeah, in order to be successful in life, you don't have to have a degree, do you? Why not? Be a taxi driver, you may make better money. You see? Fighting in order to justify yourself. That's what this man still knows, that he had to study, he had to be successful, contradicts himself. So he is in battle within himself. But those people who, this is a practical, simple example. The best thing is those people who really reject the message they receive from their conscience. What do they have to do? They have to run into the battle swiftly in order to defend themselves, to find out, to invent any excuses to justify themselves. That's why we have to understand that the unbelievers are working harder than the believers in order to attack the truth, because they don't feel comfortable within themselves. Do you see this? So this is for unbelievers. How about ourselves? Whatever we invent that we need, for ourselves, when it is not met, what we do, we start fighting. Why it is not fulfilled? Why I didn't succeed in getting it? So you get angry, you start to justify yourself as if the fight goes on so much that I am not going to submit to
the order.
Yes?
The order.
In physical terms,
Right.
but within myself. I am in the room now. Yeah, I have some things, some sort of ambitions, but nothing to do with worldly ambitions, okay? For example, I'm not going to be like those stupid religious people. Yeah? So I want to reject those people, and I have to have my independence in my own life. What do we do? What do we do in this case?
You have to work towards it.
Yeah, struggle. Now, if someone, let's say, it's a very complicated subject. You are solving a mathematical equations, okay? But you are trying to learn how to solve the equations or theorem in the right way. Do you feel a conflict within yourself? Or the more you study, the more you struggle, the better you get a little bit satisfaction. It is not this war. So if you want to learn, for example, what is the purpose of my life? What am I doing in this world? What am I doing in this? Why are we struggling for something which is not worth at all? Now, what is the truth? Now you say that I must understand the truth. In this case, that's my very typical standard answer or advice. Do you want to find the truth? go home, sit in your bedroom, get the mirror in front of you, and speak to yourself. Hey, man, who are you? What are you doing in this world? Calm. But I don't want to do this. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to submit myself. Tension. I don't know whether I can express it with my hands like this. What shall I do? Yeah? But relax. Submit yourself. Failure is with you. Ignore. Failure is with you. Not everybody reaches the conclusion immediately. No, it takes time. It is a process. What are we expected to do? Okay, I will make one step ahead today. Let me analyze my false, artificial ambitions, which are not human, which are not according to the conscious requirements of my conscience. One step a day. For the rest, you can pray. But while we are praying to God, please give me success in receiving the guidance. Just not to excuses, not to make caprices. Please, God, success me. But this prayer is not going to make God's mind change. But within yourself, في نفس يعقوب قضايا. So, في نفس يعقوب قضايا. It means within yourself, okay, I know what I am supposed to do. And my Creator established this rule in the universe and within my own conscience, and I have to be in harmony with my conscience. If I don't succeed today, I am sure as long as I try, my Creator will provide a means for me. Because of discomfort, you go ahead even more steps further. This is what I mean. Because of your consistency within yourself, how do we solve our problems? I believe, and very strongly, psychologists cannot solve our problems, secular psychologists. Psychotherapy cannot solve our problems. Psychiatrists, by prescribing pills or whatever medicine, cannot solve our problems. These are all temporary dumbness. But physical reason, I understand. Don't misunderstand. If someone has a physical reason, for example, biological disorder, biological, not psychological, biological disorder. Some people have some problems. Two lobes of the brain, for example, if there is a membrane between two lobes. I think that you know that much. I'm not a biologist at all, but just a very primitive information. Sorry? So if the membranes are not touching each other and there is a little bit gap in between, this person cannot make right decisions. Communication between two lobes of the brain is not perfectly performed. That's how you are created. Then you have to use medical care. I understand this, but pure satisfaction with no biological reason. No, did I say satisfaction? No, psychological. With no physical reason. If we have problems, it is this. Well, Adiyat ضبحا. So we ourselves are, if you like, souls or egoistic ambitions, which run swiftly to the battle against the message from my conscience. It was from my Creator. And with a panting noise, breathing heavily, how can I justify myself? How can I solve? How can I achieve my ambitions? That I want something. If you don't know, please sit in the room, be comfortable. What makes me feel uncomfortable? What makes me feel uncomfortable? We have 2 minutes. Past?
I thought you said 8:15.
Oh, but it is not 8 now, 8:50. I'm following this one. It's at 8:20. Okay, inshallah, we should stop. The first verse, this one, the panting noise, breathing heavily. Why? Why I don't get, I don't really obtain my ambitions. These ambitions cannot be realistic. If they were realistic, there should be no battle. I'm comfortable with it. My consciousness gives me this news, and I am doing or listening or doing the same thing. There should be no battle. If there is a battle, there is an uncomfort. This is the mercy from our Creator. Why? This mercy doesn't let me go ahead with my mistakes. Keeps me, prevents me, because I know that something is wrong within me. I am not satisfied with it. That is the creation by God as a result of His mercy for us. Doesn't let us do or continue on the wrong way. So what I feel that artificial expectations, artificial excuses are the source of all kinds of conflict within ourselves, which is described nowadays as psychological problem. Disturbances, apart from physical reason, biological reason, okay, physiological reason. But this is completely different. We are talking about purely psychological reasons that we are not comfortable within ourselves. Okay, we have to stop here. Although the following verses give detailed explanation of the same phenomenon. Inshallah, we can continue next week. And Saturday in Woodhaven, okay? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now, the guard is not happy. So after 8:50, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Thank you for coming. And also thank you for bringing the mother. Alhamdulillah, thank you very much.